foreign affairs stuff now. I'm on the board of something called the National Democratic Institute, which is run by Madeleine Albright, and I go around the world talking to different, we've spent time in Vietnam, China, Burma, Ukraine, Moldova. These are all places I go and talk to people about variety of things. So here's the deal from my point of view, and I'm not speaking for Hillary, on the TPP. The TPP is a good thing for international relations and world stability. I realize that some Democrats hate it, and I'm going to get to the part that's not so good in a minute. But from the point of view of when I was in Vietnam, I spent a week with the Vietnamese government. They really want the TPP. From that point of view, it's a good thing for us because it creates a stability. Not only does it create stability, it also puts China on notice that if you behave too badly, we're going to hurt you economically. And they care very deeply about that. The reason the Chinese I don't think there's ever going to be a war between China and the U.S. I think all that stuff is all exaggerated by Fox News. And why? Because they need us very badly economically. If there ever were a real conflict between us and we cut off our people wouldn't be able to buy cheap stuff at Walmart, their people, 100 million of them, would be out of work. And that would lead to instability, which they fear the most. So this is all a way of helping China, which is an authoritarian state, to behave. And TPP is part of that. And far better to do TPP than have 10,000 troops on the border of some place and get in some military action that is going to lead to a lot of... So from a geopolitical point of view, TPP is a good thing. However, the thing that, and again, I'm not speaking for Hillary, the thing that worries me the most about TPP, I actually don't buy that we're exporting all our jobs a lot. I think that's partly true, but I think a lot of the damage that's been done to our manufacturing community is because of the internet and the incredibly rapid changes in job creation, which disadvantages people whose skills were working in automobile plants and advantages people whose skills are being high educated and being able to go online and start businesses and stuff. That it is an issue. I don't agree with the unions that it's the biggest issue. I think the biggest issue is the ascendancy of multinational corporations and the power it gives them. That's what worries me and keeps me up at night about TPP. I do think it gives an unfair advantage, and I've been through this. Michael Froman called me and tried, because he had a letter going out from former chairs of the DNC, which I wouldn't sign, and he tried to talk me into this. He couldn't answer all these questions. I think the argument about the potential of undermining sovereignty on issues like environmental protection and even labor protection, that worries me a lot, because I don't think that we want to have a race to the bottom in terms of protection of workers or protection of the environment. So I don't know what Hillary's thoughts were and why she decided not to do it. I suspect I know why she was perfectly happy to support it as Secretary of State, because her job as Secretary of State is to create an atmosphere where there's world stability and a higher likelihood of peace. As a presidential candidate, she's got to weigh a lot more than just what she has to weigh as Secretary of State, and that is the power of the multinational corporations to influence politics. I think is too great in this country, and I think it's directly tied to the problem of inequality. So I don't know if that's been helpful. This is one of those issues that's very, very complicated. There is no easy black and white answer to this one, and I think you have to understand what the nuances are. And that's why I like Hillary, is because she looks at the nuances and not just the easy political slogans.
Sorry about the clock.